kids, welcome back. Today I'm going to read you another story out of my 5-Minute Princess Stories book. Let's see. Today's story is... That's right, Jeffrey. Beauty and the Beast, a friend for Philippe. It was a beautiful morning when Belle arrived at Philippe's stable with a surprise for her friend. "Guess what I have?" she called happily as she hurried to the horse's stall. "The first carrots of the season, Philippe. I picked them just for you." Philippe was not as happy as Belle had hoped. He sniffed a bunch of carrots, but when Belle offered him one, the horse pushed her hand away. "Is something wrong?" Belle asked, alarmed. Philippe was always hungry. Philippe hung his head and sighed. Belle decided that she had to cheer up her friend. But how? "If only you could talk," Belle said. "You could tell me exactly what to do." "I don't know, Jeffrey." Later that morning, Belle hurried to the castle library. She gathered all the books about horses she could find and began to read. "Sacre bleu!" cried Lumiere when he, Cogsworth, and Chip saw all the books. "What are you doing, Princess?" "I want to cheer up Philippe," Belle explained. "I hope these books would help me figure out what's wrong, but I'm not having much luck." "You should brighten his stall," Lumiere suggested. "It's important to have the right atmosphere, you know." "I believe that music is the key to happiness," Cogsworth said. "It's always made me smile when I was an enchanted clock." "Or how about a bubble bath?" Chip chimed in. "That used to cheer me up." Belle decided to give each idea a try. First, she and Lumiere decorated Philippe's stall. They covered the walls with wallpaper and sprinkled flower petals on the floor. They piled pillows in the corner, hung curtains on the windows, and strung up beaded garlands. For a final touch, they hung a chandelier from the ceiling. "Voila!" Lumiere exclaimed. "What more could a horse ask for?" Philippe stared sadly out the window. "I wish I knew," said Belle. Next, Cogsworth brought an orchestra to the stable. Belle, Lumiere, and Chip listened politely as Cogsworth led the musicians through a long concert. Philippe didn't seem to enjoy the music, though. Finally, Belle saw to it that Philippe was treated to a bubble bath, fit for a king. "If this doesn't make him smile," Belle told Chip, "I don't know what will." In the end, although he was shiny and sweet-smelling, Philippe was still glum, and Belle was still puzzled. "Maybe the prince will know what to do," Chip suggested. Belle thought that was an excellent idea. She found the prince in the study and explained everything to him. "I wish I knew what Philippe needed," she cried. "Do you have any suggestions?" The prince thought for a moment. "Maybe a walk would do him good," he said. "That always used to cheer me up." "Of course," Belle agreed. "That's a wonderful idea." Bright and early the next morning, Belle changed into her riding clothes and fetched Philippe. She led him to the edge of the forest where the royal orchards began. The sight of all the delicious fruit gave Belle an idea. "Would you like an apple?" the princess asked. Go ahead, choose one. Philippe wandered from tree to tree, eyeing each apple and even sniffing some. But he looked sad, and his steps were slow and heavy. It was clear his heart wasn't in it. They continued until they reached the meadow. All of a sudden, Philippe's ears pricked up and his head snapped to attention. Then he charged off like a racehorse. "Whoa, boy," Belle cried, nearly falling out of the saddle. "Where are you going?" But Philippe galloped on, straight into the forest. As they emerged into a clearing filled with wild horses, Philippe whinnied, and several of the horses answered him. Finally, Belle realized what Philippe had wanted. Not a fancy stall or fine music or a bubble bath. He wanted to be with other horses. Philippe trotted eagerly over to the herd. "Well, go on," Belle said, as she swung out of the saddle. "Go have some fun." Soon, Philippe was playing with one of the horses. The two horses chased each other around the clearing and found a patch of delicious grass. All too quickly, the day was over and the sun began to set. "Oh, goodness, we've got to get going. I promise we'll come back soon," Belle told Philippe. As they started towards the castle, Belle heard the sound of hooves behind them. "Well, look at that, Philippe," she exclaimed. "It's your new friend." The horse who had played with Philippe all afternoon was following them home. By the time they reached the castle, the two horses were walking side by side. "Welcome to our castle," Belle told the new horse when they arrived. "We're honored to have you as our guest." To show the horse she meant it, Belle fixed up a stall next to Philippe's. "There," she said when she was through. "Now this looks like a stable where a horse or two could live happily ever after." And that is exactly what they did. The end. I enjoyed that one too, very much. Well, thank you all once again for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.